Welcome to another episode of the Roughly Related to Reselling podcast. My name is Perry Phillips. Follow me on Instagram at Perry Flips with a Z. Flips and Giggles on eBay and whatnot. And then you can also find Flips and Giggles on Facebook as well. If you like the show, make sure you subscribe, tell a friend, leave us a nice review. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, just leave us a nice review. It helps me out. I keep saying us and me. It's just me here. And then if you are, I know it's past tax season, but I keep telling you guys every week, I use my reseller Genie. It's awesome. It really helps keep all of my paperwork and everything in order. And that way I can just, I'm bad about it. I go back and I just I try to do it every couple months, but I get behind, and it's really good about, keeping track of stuff. So when I have to go back and look it up, it's really easy. And if you use my promo code GIGGLES, you'll get 15% off the software. And then you can also combine that with 15% off their bookkeeping course as well. So you can kind of learn a little bit. I actually need to do the bookkeeping course. I was thinking about doing it myself. I need to get better about it. I have to go meet with my tax guy on Wednesday. So I'm going to talk to him about, he always does an extension because we're always so late. So we always have to just hope that we're going to be okay and that we're going to be on time. The first year that we used him, I kind of offended him, I think. But he was really bad about communication. And so he had us just drop our paperwork off. And I'd never done it like that, where you just go somewhere and you drop your paperwork off. But he does he's fucking loaded. Every time I go to this dude's place, he's got a new boat or a new vehicle. He just had us drop off our paperwork the first time. And so I was a little sketched out by that. Because I'd never done that before, you know what I mean? I'd never actually used a tax professional, and we didn't actually drop it off to him. It was some lady that was just there. I think it was his wife. And so we're all right, let's see how this goes, so we dropped him off. And then he told us he would have them done by this date, and that date came and went. So I gave him a few more days, and then I checked in hey, just checking in, blah, blah, blah. And then he wouldn't respond for a few days. So finally I was hey, I'm going to have to come and get my stuff because and so then he kind of snapped back at me and was oh, I don't have an assistant, blah, 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 blah. And so then, it was whatever. He had already had my taxes. So he's I'll have them done tomorrow. So I was all right. So he hit me up the next day. He's hey, your taxes are done. I'm why the fuck did you take, why did you just fucking do them? But he's crazy busy. So obviously we got off on the wrong foot, but we've used him since then for 4 years. And, he always makes sure to take care of us. And it's, we've got the business. So you got to make sure I didn't want to do anything, with the business. I used to use H&R Block, and I just was a complete fucking idiot when I would go and try to get my taxes done. And, if you had somebody who sucked, it was I used to just get the bare minimum back. And then I remember when I worked in a restaurant, I was talking to my friend Ann, and she actually introduced me into me and my wife. Shout out Ann. And she was telling me about how she claims her tips or her tip outs. Sorry. So when you work restaurant, you have to some jobs you have to tip, most jobs you have to tip out, when the bar back or the bus boy, sometimes the host, but not usually. And then what is the guy in the back called? Expediter, the food expediter, the person who plates all the food. Sometimes you have to tip him out. I've worked at places where the tip's expected to cook. I didn't give them a tip. That was the craziest job ever, where they were yeah, you got to tip the cooks. I'm tip the fucking cooks? I've already tipped in the bar back, the busser. You had to tip out, I think that was just it. For some reason I felt you had to tip out the servers, but that was in a different place, and the servers had to tip the bartender, which was crazy too. Well, no, you should have to tip the bartender, but like you had to tip the bartender like extra if you worked in the spot with them. It was just a weird situation. But anyway, this one was like they expected you to tip the cooks and shit, and like this is in Pacific Northwest, and it was at like a resort, a really nice resort, and yeah, they just like they still, I mean, they still got all my food and shit. Like, what are they not going to make my food? But like, yeah, that was just the craziest shit ever to be like, yeah, like some people tip the kitchen staff, but it's like it wasn't expected, and most people didn't. You know what I mean? So like, they couldn't be mad at everybody. But that was a weird one. Why was I talking about tipping again? I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about that got me talking about tipping. Oh gosh. Oh, because I was talking about H&R Block. Yeah. So then, yeah, my friend told me, like, she's like, yeah, you can fucking claim your tip outs. So when you like tip out anybody X amount of dollars, like you tip out a shitload of your money. Like you're getting taxed on your tips, but you're also tipping out. So like it doesn't account for the tip out. So you got to like also claim that because that's a loss. It's not, you're not like, yes, you made this much in tips, but you were giving out this much in tips as well. So like I started doing that, and I started actually getting money back. Like it's crazy when you don't know shit, like going through life. You know what I mean? Because my mom, like, she was just like, oh, I'll just do TurboTax. And it's like, there's all types of fucking like things you can write off and claim. And, but yeah, I had never known that you could fucking claim your tip out. So for years, I just was like way overpaying taxes. So you hear that, IRS? You owe me at this point. I don't think I'll see a check, but, anyway, exciting week. We had a lot. It was a busy week last week. We did, 1, 2, 3. We did 3 shows last week, and we're going to do 3 again this week. eBay's been popping off. I've been actually taking pictures and stuff again, and like getting things like started to get listed. Yeah, it's been good. So this week and whatnot, we've got a show tonight. We're popping up tonight at, if you're listening to this Wednesday when this comes out. So we got a show tonight, and we are running more of my mom's beads. So I mean, at least we know we're gonna make money. I already messaged all the Beatles. I messaged them all and told them that we were gonna be doing another show tonight, part 4. And then tomorrow night, I've got video games, so I've got to finish testing those out today and tomorrow. My wife actually set up all the beads for me, because she's like, she really likes doing the bead shows. I'm like, why don't you just fucking do them, and I'll do, you know what I mean? I might just have her do the show tonight, and then I'll be in the background. We'll see what they think. I'll see how that goes. That might be fun to do. Because we've got like 10 of them, so I can sit out one of, not sit out, but like, you know, I'll do the stuff in the background. Yeah, my wife is slightly dyslexic, and so I've had to check her work, which has been kind of a pain in my ass, but I honestly appreciate the help. She hits more than she misses, and we were going really fast the other night. And so I just had to go through and like watch every video receipt for the whole show, which, you know, was time consuming. But we're trying to figure out a better way to organize. So I don't know, that might be fun. So yeah, check that out tonight. And then next week we're doing CDs. I got a bunch of CDs this past weekend. So yeah, check that out. Whatnot, Flips and Giggles. It's been fun. If you'd asked me last year when we started Whatnot if I would do like 3 shows in a week, I would tell you hell no. But the beads have been really pretty easy. That's the only reason I'm okay doing them, and I can sit in my comfy chair. I got a new chair that I think I told you guys I got a new chair. So I definitely am okay if if she wants to do it though. If she wants to just run the show. Yeah, and then I was in a somebody's whatnot the other day, and I forget. He was a bigger seller on whatnot. I can't remember his name. Corey something. Anyway, I'll have to look at it. But he was having like a community show, and he was talking about how they do this big competition. It's like the next 6-figure seller competition on whatnot. And he said that he has to think that you can sell do $20,000 in sales in 1 hour during a raid train. So you're going to have like, all of the power of the raid train behind you. But he wants to see if you're capable of doing that. And so he was like, message me if you want me to check you out, this, that, and the other. And so this was 4:20 in the morning, not 4:20 at in the morning, the time, but 4:20 the date. And it was in the morning that day. And so, I sent him was it Sunday? It was Sunday. It was Sunday that I sent him that message, I believe. Because then Monday was the 4:20 raid train. So, I heard back from him the next morning. And he said, what the fuck did he say? He just said, I see strength. And if you've ever seen, what's that movie? The Night Before with Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Anthony Mackie, Blacked in America. Black Captain America. Sam Wilson Captain America. He was also Clarence in fucking 8 Mile. But it was those three guys. And I only said him because he's like the lesser known of the three. And so they meet like a drug dealer the whole night, and he keeps popping up. It's the guy, I'm not going to remember his name. He's like a weird white dude. He's very kind of scary looking white dude. Like if he was in your house, you'd be like fucking terrified. I can't remember his fucking name though. But I just read that like as that guy. It's just like, I see strength. Like I don't know what to do with that. So I just replied because I was like, well, what would somebody who didn't have strength, how would they reply? So I replied, I appreciate that. I look forward to hearing from you. That's all I said. So I don't know. And he followed me and I think bookmarked a couple of my shows. But he said he comes in and you won't know that he's in there watching your shows. So I don't know if he was already in at the 420 show, because I know on 420, I don't think anybody else was doing like just like straight up pipes like we were. So we did those. Monday night. So yeah, we sold out pretty much, which was awesome. And yeah, I only found I found one more that was cracked. We sold a ton of those little elephants. I put the pictures on my Instagram. We had a ton of these little elephants. Sorry, I'm like all over the place today. Busy week. But there was these teeny little elephant like bowls, pipes. And so we sold a shitload of those. We sold all those quickly. And then we had little fish. So people were big on the fish. So we sold a bunch of fish. We sold out of everything. It was just like a matter of like when and how much. We had like a wizard that was really nice. We should have ran that when we had more people in, but whatnot's kind of weird. You're like on a roll going and you have a ton of people and you're like, I still have a ton of stuff, so I'm still going to have a lot of people. It's only going to get bigger. And then you start to like the following of people starts to dwindle and then it goes back up. And so it's kind of hard to predict when you should do your bigger items. But we still got paid. We made cleared just under 500 after the fees and everything. So yeah, we're like, officially profitable on the storage unit with still a bunch more stuff to sell. So I'm excited about that. The 420 show went awesome. We had a really good time. We're giving out Taco Bell gift cards. I fucking popped another goddamn tire going to get the gift cards. So I don't even know how I did it. I had my kids in the car, and we were coming, and it's a turn. It wasn't even a turn. It was just like a straight intersection that we always go through, and it's a low curb. So like somehow I just, was too far to the right, and I just clipped it. And I was like, oh, please don't pop, please don't pop. And then all of a sudden the light went on. I'm like, fuck. So I pulled into the next little parking lot. And, I had to change the tire with the kids in the car. I'm fucking NASCAR fast, though, at this point, because I've had to do it so many times. This is, like, ridiculous. I've never had a vehicle that I've popped as many tires. That's why I can't wait to get a new car. So I'm really looking for a car this week. We got the other car up and running. And we just got the windshield fixed. I completely forgot that in Massachusetts you can get your fucking windshield fixed for free, like with most insurance. So they just come to you and fix it. So we got that for free. Just makes. Oh my gosh, my kids are freaking fighting. I told them to sit and be quiet because I'm trying to do some stuff, and that they're on their own. So they're yelling and screaming. They're not really yelling and screaming. All right, hold on a second. All right, I'm going to have to remember to edit that out. Are you guys going to hear me screaming at my kids? No, I'm just kidding. I really didn't. I was talking on the monitor, which is now. But yeah. Fucking kids, dude. So it went well. It was fun. I'm still like kind of nervous about selling pipes. So I'm glad it's like a one and done and we're not doing it again. But yeah, I was like worried they were going to shut my account down or something. But we sold them as like just storage unit fines, which I've seen other people sell them as that. So I'm like, all right, it's Whatnot. It would tell me. Well, I guess it wouldn't know if I, was selling that. But I looked it up online and it said, yes, you can sell them. So I got confirmation online, and then I asked a group of people, and like 99.9 said yes. One person was like, no, you can't. I'm like, all right, well, most people said yes. So that's done. And this competition, if you can sell $20,000 in 1 minute, which is like 1 minute, 1 hour. It's like 55 minutes. It's not even 1 hour. It's 55 minutes, which is, we could definitely do it. We would need a whole team. Like I would need to have other friends help me besides Amy, which I'm sure we would have plenty of people who would be down to help. I'd have to get my buddy who's like good with production shit to be like, to help me out with stuff. And then, is this thing not that loud? I feel like it's not. I fucked with it a minute ago. Sorry. It's a lot going on today. I've got the kids home on vacation too. That's the other thing I should have mentioned. It's vacation week, April vacation, and they're not out of school until like the end of June, which fucking sucks because they had like a week off from snow. So I'm really kind of annoyed about that. We are pulling her out of school for a week to go on a vacation. So, I mean, it's kindergarten, who cares? That's the thing. Once you have kids, it's like you can't just go on vacation whenever you want. So, like, we were just like, we were planning our trip, and my wife took this whole week off. And then she's like, oh, I took the week off, and our daughter's still in school. I'm like, fuck, dude. So, it is what it is. We're just going to pull her out, It's fine to, I don't think she can get in trouble. It's kindergarten. It's like the end of the year in kindergarten. So, it's not like, she's not going to miss much. I mean, she'll miss her little friends, but she's still got like 3 weeks after we get back. And then there's like birthday parties. They're all going to be seeing each other all summer. And we already started getting birthday parties invites for the summer. I'm like, it's crazy early. So we've got like 3 birthday invites, and she wants to go out to all 3. So we got one this Saturday at a fucking, it's like a bounce place, trampoline park. I hate those places. There's always a bunch of kids who are way too old to be there, and they like hang out up in the tops in like the tubes, And like then the little kids go up there and there's a bunch of teenagers that you got to like worry about your kids with. So I always end up having to go up into these fucking things with them. But my daughter's going to be with a bunch of kids. She's going to want to be running around. And so I'm hoping it's nice out and there's like nobody there except for our party. I'm really hoping it's a nice day. And then there's supposed to be some yard sales in the morning, so I'm going to torture my kids. There's one that's like, it's at 30 plus vendors that they do it every year. Like not vendors, but like people. So I don't know if I'm going to take the drive over that, but we'll see. There's a few sales. There's one that's supposed to be, that looks really good with a bunch of video games, but the guy, I sent a message. I always send a message just like, well, one, because sometimes they say yes, but two, just to make sure that they're not selling shit before the sale. So I go, hey, you know, I'm interested in this, this, and this. Is there any chance of buying it before the sale? And then, you know, if they say no, I'm like, all right, sweet, I'm going to go. If they don't answer, usually it means that they, you know, don't want to do it. And then if they say yes, it's all right, you know, those are like the three things. Occasionally they're like, oh, it's already sold. You know what I mean? So that's happened before too. But it never hurts to check. Most of the time I'm expecting a no, but I just want to make sure that they're not like, you know, selling shit off before the sale. Because it's like, all right, then it's a waste of my time. So we'll see how that goes. That's, I think, either Friday or Saturday. There's a couple sales on Friday that I want to try to get to because my wife is off. But we're trying to get some stuff, some fun stuff in too, like Thursday or Friday. I want to do like either an aquarium or the zoo or some shit. My wife's like, you know, it's going to be packed. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, you know? It's whatever. We can go to like the little small shitty zoo. They won't care. The one just like 20 minutes away. It's a super sad zoo. Oh, I went there when I was a kid, and they had these old-ass elephants, and those old-ass elephants were there up until recently. I think they finally died. I don't know if they're still alive. But yeah, and then you go in like the aquarium part of it, and it smells like shit. It's fucking, it's a fun, it's a fun time. It's a fun time. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what, so last week, I'm trying to think, did I go to a sale Friday? I did I went to the thrift store on Thursday. I think this was last Thursday. Let me see if this is on my list, because otherwise I've already talked about this. I don't think it is. Oh yeah, I did. So I went to the thrift store. My daughter had her, what was it called? Swim school. She calls it swim school, swim class. She calls it swim school. It's cute. She's like, I want to go, because she really wants to go to school. So she's like, I go to swim school. And she had swim school, and I was driving home, and there's a little church thrift that I go to every once in a while, but I haven't been in a while. And I didn't even realize it was Thursday. Like Thursday is when they get new inventory in. And this was around 12:30 because swim school ends at like, no, so it was probably like 12:15 because swim school ends around like 11:50. And so I went in with my kid, and I went down to the t-shirts. That's usually where I check first. And like I walked up, and it was like somebody had just put it on the rack. It was a vintage from like 1998, 1998. Sorry, not 1988. 1998, 1999. No, I think it was 1999. Radiohead t-shirt. So that was a cool find for like $2. And then there was this little like robot thing, and my daughter saw it. She's like, I want that. I'm like, you don't even know what that is. And she's like, I want it. I was like, all right, we'll open it up. It was like a little like it looked like it was holding something inside of it. So I was like, all right, we'll open it up. If it's something cool, we'll get it. If not, we're leaving it. So I open it up, and it's like a little cool ass robot playset, like mini robot playset with little mini figures. I was like, oh fuck, that's cool. So we got that. So I had to put one of the t-shirts back because I realized that afterwards that I only had $5 on me. So I had to put one thing back so she could get that. So don't say I never did anything for my child while being a reseller. And then what happened next? So yeah, I got that t-shirt on Thursday. And then Friday, I don't think I went to anything on Friday. I'm trying to think if I went to anything on Friday. Let me just check real quick to see if I had, because I have all my little, I'm organized about yard sales. I can organize that shit. Yeah, I don't think I went anywhere on Friday. And then Saturday, there was a townwide yard sale Saturday, and there was also another sale that I almost forgot about. I had put it in earlier in the week, but it had said that they had tabletop games and like just vintage, whatever, random stuff. They didn't really post it very well. They just posted it on one section. I can't even remember where they posted it. And so I couldn't even find it, honestly. That's what happened. I couldn't even find it again. So I was like, fuck. But I put in the description. So whenever I put the sale down, if there's something I really want to go for, I put a little note in the address. When I put the address for because you can put the name of the address in maps. So I'll put that address, but then I'll just save, like, tabletop games. And my buddy Dan was supposed to come. He didn't come. He loves tabletop games, so he would have loved this sale. And so I rolled out. Oh, so there was a townwide was like starting around 9, and then this guy was starting at 8, but it was opposite direction, of course. So I was like, all right, well, I can get to this one at like 7-ish and see if they're open, and then I'll just see what they got, and if it's worth it, I'll wait, and then I can still get over to the townwide while they're still getting set up. Because townwide sales, people never set up like early. Like, it's crazy. 60% of them were not set up like 20 minutes before the sale was starting. And it was a little misty, but like still, it was like, all right, this is a waste of time. So how are they doing? Yeah, so I go to the sale. I get there at 7:15. It was starting at 8. So they were like, they had a ton of shit out already. Like, it was like way already set up. So I like rolled down the window. The lady was right there. So I go, hey, are you guys open yet? She's like, no, we open at 8. And I go, are you all right if I look around? And she's like, yeah, that's fine. So she let me look around. I start looking. And I walk over to the tabletop stuff, and I got like some vintage Dungeons and Dragons books. They had a whole like bin or a shoebox, and it was filled with like minifigures for Dragon Ball Z. I almost said Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. They all had wizards on it, Wizards of the Coast, and then like 2 or 3 big bags of like die, whatever you want to call them. Polyhedral die. There was G.I. Joes, the taller ones, and his prices were all good. So I just I was like, are you guys okay if I make a pile? They're like, yeah, that's fine. So I found like those. I got, what the hell else did I get? I got some books. He had some really good books. He had like a little box of Stephen King books. So I got those. So I got a really good deal on everything. But as I was shopping around, like, other people started showing up, and they were all other resellers I know in the area. And so one of them was like asking about buying something, and the husband was like, oh, we're not selling anything till 8 o'clock. And I hear that, because I'm like, he hadn't said anything like that to me. He was being very friendly with me the whole time. And the guy who was asking him is like, he's a reseller, but he's not a dick. He's one of the like the more polite people I meet when I'm out there. So I was like, it was very bizarre. I think he did finally let him buy something and go. He's like, I just want to pay for it and go. Like, but it was very weird, because I had a full pile. So I don't know if it was because I was making a full pile or what, but he was like, they didn't say anything to me when I checked out like 2 minutes after that guy. I was like, all right, I got to go. And like, can you cash me out? And they're like, yeah, sure. And they cashed me out, gave me a great deal, and sent me on my way. Oh, he had some cool glasses, sunglasses, and then like a Red Hot Chili Peppers hat. So I did get a couple other things too, like random things. So it was definitely worth it to go over there. But then I went to the townwide yard sale, man, and it was, I already kind of said, like 60% of people weren't open for like 20 minutes before 9 o'clock. It was misting out, so, a lot of people had shit out that was getting wet, which was like annoying. So I found I went to this house that I had gone to last year. They had a sale. And I got like a vintage jacket with like an American flag on it. I think it was polo. Really cool jacket. I got like $125 for it. But they had a bunch of CDs, so I started looking at them, and like you could tell were already ready to wrap it up. So they were like, so she's like, oh, she's like, you looking at the CDs? Like, I was like, yeah. She's like, well, let me go get him. So she gets her husband, and he's like, oh, I was doing 25 cents a piece, so I don't know, make me an offer. I was like, then there was a lot, so I was like, I don't know, $20. He's like, yeah, take them. They're not doing me any good. So it was all classic rock. There's like 3 Disney ones mixed in. But we're going to try selling them on Whatnot. I usually do those in lots, and I end up selling them for like, like these ones I probably paid 5 to 10 cents a piece for them. Maybe even less. So I usually sell them in lots on eBay for like $2 a piece. You know what I mean? Like 70 of them for $2 a piece or something like that, So, it is worth it. But then if I can sell them, I'm going to start at $2 a piece on Whatnot. So if I can, get the same amount or more, we'll see. So we'll see if it's worth it. If I get the same amount, it's not worth it because I can just sell them in one lot. But if I'm selling them for like $5 a piece, then it's a little worth it. So it's all good CDs. I'm hoping that people will like them. And then my neighbor has some CDs too. His wife passed away, so he said she had a ton of CDs. So I'm hoping it's good stuff. I don't know what it is, but they're old white people. Not like super old white people, but like old enough. But she's Republican, so I don't know. That can go either way. You know what I mean? Yeah, she's probably not listening to like Bruce Springsteen, which I fucking hate Bruce Springsteen. But she's like, it could be all like old Southern country, which I've never been able to move. But who knows? I haven't sold them on Whatnot, so you never know. We'll see how that goes. So that was the only thing I ended up getting. Oh wait, at the Townwide, I did stop. There was one more stop that I made at. They had like a few people that were all together, like as part of it, outside of like a dance school or some shit. And I found a Lego. It was first I walked right by it because it was like the Lego Duplo. It wasn't even Lego Duplo. It was Lego System from 1987 or 1988, I think. And I walked right by it because I was like, oh, this is like, it's just a tub of like, Duplo, I thought at first. And then so there weren't many people, so I walked by it. And then there wasn't really anything else at the sale, so I walked back and I saw it again. And I realized it was unopened, but it had gotten like a little bit of rain on it. So I thought it was going to be fucked up, but it was actually fine. So I got that for like $2 or something like that. And it looks like it does all right. So I'm hoping that it does well, even with like, I mean, it got a little bit of not water damage, but you can kind of tell it got wet a little bit in 1 or 2 spots. But I wiped it down when I got it and then like put it right in the car and dried it out. So, but yeah, it's just so fucking, it's hard when it's misting like that because people just leave shit out. And so like I've been to sales. I went to a sale last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago now. And they had brought everything outside, which was an estate sale. So I don't know why they didn't just have it inside. And so they brought everything outside and it started raining. And so she was like, everything's free. So like, I just remember grabbing as much shit as I could. There was Crocs. Like I got a bunch of brand new pairs of Crocs, like a bunch of shit. There was electronics. I got an Xbox, like a bunch of shit for free. And it just started raining when I got there, so it didn't get too wet. But yeah, it sucks when it starts raining. I hope it's not another wet summer. That was a couple years ago. It was like every fucking week. This podcast would have sucked because every week it was like, well, it rained again. Nobody had sales. And then we tried to hit a couple sales on the way. We went out to my in-laws and we tried to hit a few sales on the way out there, but I didn't really have any luck on the road. A lot of them were ending by the time we were getting out there, and like a lot of them were way out there. So I think we did stop at like one. It was a clothing sale, and I think I just got like a True Religion shirt. But then we got to my in-laws and we hung out there for a bit. And I was like, why don't we go to the thrift store? Because we had to go out and get something for food anyway. Like we had to get something for breakfast in the morning. So I was like, well, why don't we go out and do that? And we can both go together. We can go to the thrift store. So me and my wife got to go thrifting for a little bit together. We never get to go like without the kids. It's always a huge pain in the ass. So we just were like, we got some stuffies. I got a couple shirts to sell. But we were getting ready to pay and there's no line. And we're getting ready and we go to walk up to the line and all of a sudden there's this fucking massive line. And so we get in line and we're waiting. And they had a big section of comic books, but there was like this one fat kid with long hair. He was a teenager, and like my wife thought it was a girl at first because he had long hair. She was like, was it like a they them? My wife's 5 years older than me, so she's like, I joke around a lot about a lot of shit, but she like a lot of times I don't think she's joking when she like doesn't understand things. Like I'll ask her if she knows what I'm talking about something, and she'll just be like, no, I have no idea. Like she's just, it's sometimes the age gap does show a little bit. But it was like it's definitely like a boy who was like into like comics and like maybe heavy metal, like, like a nerdy kid. And he was there with his mom, and his mom was in line in front of us. And she was like saying something to him about how grandma was in the car and like she was in there for like over a half hour. Like she's like, I gotta go check on grandma. And she's waiting in line. She didn't have anything else in her hands except for his comic books. So then he's like, okay, hold on, let me just like look through. And he was there the entire time we were there. And the comic book section wasn't that big. You could fly through it and like, and so like, and nobody else could really get in there because he was kind of blocking the whole way. And I think he was doing that on purpose. But I probably could have gotten in there and made them uncomfortable. But there wasn't any, all the prices were like $5 and up. So it was like most of them were 25-cent books. It wasn't worth paying for fucking, So we're waiting in line. She's like having this conversation with this kid. And she's like, I got to go check on grandma. So you got to come wait in line and pay. And he's like, well, how about I wait, or how about you wait in line? I go check on grandma. She's like, no, like I gotta like, whatever. He was trying everything he could because he's socially awkward because he did not want to have that interaction with the cashier, I'm sure, or wait in line, I'm sure. And so so then he like goes to go walk over to her and he like makes a motion like this, like that he's like, I can't walk around. There's people in the way. So she's like, so say, excuse me. Like, I was like, damn, dude, this mom, like she did this to herself, but her response was fucking funny. She's like, just say excuse me, like. And so then finally he like makes his way over to the line, but he was trying everything he could to not have to wait in that line to talk to anybody, and he still wanted to go look at the comic books. But yeah, I was like, he was too old to be doing that, definitely, for sure. He was too old to be having his mom wait in line, and she probably paid for, she's like, I'll give you the money for the comic books. So she probably paid for all those comic books. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, do kids like that just become like that because of moms like that? Or they just, are they like that and then the mom just like caters to it? I don't know. I feel like my daughter might like, if we let her, because sometimes she's like whiny and shit, like I feel like it could go to a place where it's like she's constantly like that. You know what I mean? She's obviously 5, so she's learning and growing. But yeah, it's crazy. I was like, dude, this poor fucking mom. That was like that dude that was had his mom outside selling his stuff at the yard sale last year. That was a sale that I accidentally went to a couple weeks ago. I'm like, God damn it. But yeah, I don't even know if he actually ended up selling his own shit or if his mom was selling it for him. That shit's wild. All right, let me check my list of stuff because I got to wrap it up here soon. Oh yeah, and the husband at the first sale, the sale that I got all the cool Dungeons and Dragons shit, he was wearing fucking a straight up kilt. Like, he had a fucking kilt on. I don't know. I didn't ask him if he had anything on under it, but like, I was like, damn, dude, it was the first thing in the morning. I walk up and there's a dude with a kilt on. I was like, that's a crazy choice to wear for a yard sale. I'm sure you got a lot of compliments on it, but I was like, damn, that's a bold choice for an outfit for standing outside all day. Anyway, and then when we got to Connecticut, we're sitting there and we're hanging out inside. It was kind of cold and rainy that day, and my father-in-law, I guess, stepfather-in-law, I don't know what the fuck you call him. He shows us on his, my God, my kids are purposely making noise because they want me to come up there. And so he shows us on his camera like 2 minutes before the time it was that there was bears outside, like directly outside. They were trying to get in his trash. He's got a seatbelt. He attached a seatbelt to his trash so the bears can't get into it. Like he attached two ends of an old seatbelt to his trash and it buckles so the bears can't get into it. It works. It's but I was just like, again, I hate being in a place and everybody's like, I was outside the next morning. There's just kids running around. I'm like, dude, these bears could come through here any minute. I don't know how they get comfortable with it. I mean, I'm sure I would, because we lived in Washington and there was for sure bears around where we lived, but I never saw any. I mean, I saw them like when we were out in the woods going to our friends, like, because they live deep in the woods. But they had this bear a couple of years ago when we first moved here, and they were tracking it all over. They were like, oh, Boo Boo. They fucking named it Boo Boo, like Boo Boo from Yogi Bear. And the news was like, made everybody fall in love with it. And then like a week later, it got fucking nailed by a car on like the highway. It was a baby bear too. It wasn't like an older bear. It got nailed and fucking, they had to be like, well, Boo Boo the bear has died, sadly. It's like, you fucking assholes. You made everybody fall in love with this fucking dangerous animal. And then it got killed. You could have just been like, hey, you didn't have to name it. So I thought that was really funny when that happened. It wasn't funny that the bear got hit. It was just funny that the that was the reaction. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up a little bit early because I got the kids today and I've got a couple shows that we got to prep for. So don't forget, tonight, I know beads aren't everybody's thing, but if you want to come stop in and say hi, if you haven't checked out the show before, check it out. We'll be live again tomorrow night at 8:30. Tonight's 8:15. And then, check out the podcast. I'm still working on video. I know I'm a fucking piece of shit, but I don't know what the fuck is going on because I switched to the new one and I tried to upload the video and it was like, you can't upload it because it's too big. So I uploaded it to an editor, edited it. It's same file size. It's 2 gigs under what it needs to be. It is the correct file type. And I cannot get it to upload. So I haven't had time to like get on with support. And then I signed up for the weekly plan because I'm like, I want to make sure that this works. And they fucking charged me like $350 randomly on Monday. And they tried it twice. So I got hit with 2 like fees. Oh, it was so annoying because I declined the first one because I'm like, I didn't have the money in the checking account because I wasn't expecting a big thing to come through. And I had $1,000 coming in or something like that. So, like, I need to set it up where it just pulls from my savings, but I'm a dumbass. So I just have to call them and be like, hey, can you just fix my overage for me, please? And so, yeah, but they charged me like a full year. So I'm not happy about that. And when you go on to talk to them, of course, it's just like live support. So it's really annoying. So I'm hoping that they'll fix that because they charged me like 2 or 3 times for this one transaction. Really fucking annoying. But I couldn't figure out why it's not uploading. So I have the video from last week. I've been recording them. I have them ready to go. I've got them edited down. This one will get edited down. And then once I can get it to upload, I've been able to upload them into the clips, but I want to make sure I can get the full video on so I can edit, post the clips and then you can watch the video. I don't want to have just the clips. So I'm working on it. I know. I'm sorry. In school, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to finish school. Like, I reached out to them again. I was like, hey, I've got 2 classes left. I run a business, like I want to talk to them in person and be like, listen, this is all the shit that I do for my business on a daily basis. Like I don't have time to fucking bullshit you. You know what I mean? Like I'm on social media, I'm on Whatnot, to doing 3 shows at this point. We've done 3 shows in a row, 3 shows a week for like 3 weeks in a row. You know, it's we're doing a lot. You know, and if we get involved with this competition, it's only going to get like busier. So, you know, there's just no way I can go they want you to do like 150 hours at a work experience or like at the school. And it's like, man, I've got, you know, I've got that easily already. So we'll see. They said that they did say that they would bring it up at a meeting. So, you know, I'll be like, hey, if I can zoom in and plead my case, you know, let me know. Cause I do, like, a part of me is like, fuck, it's nice. Cause I don't want to have to worry about it and just not have to do school. But you know, at the same time, I've got two classes left. So I just want to finish it up and like be done and then move on so we can get doing Whatnot. So that's the show. I'm going to wrap it up because I don't really have much more to talk about. And these kids are getting antsy and it's getting later in the day. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, tell a friend, do all that fun stuff. Check out our live shows every week. Normally Thursday nights at 8:30, but we go live, you know, pop up. So make sure you follow us on Whatnot and Flips and Giggles on Facebook and also Perry Flips on Instagram. And yeah, and then just don't forget the code word Giggles. If you want to try my reseller Genie, get 15% off their bookkeeping course. You can get 15% off the software, and you know, it helps me out, it helps them out, it helps you out. So everybody wins. I feel like there's something else I'm missing about that one, but oh yeah, you can use my link too. The link is in my bio. So either promo code Giggles. I don't think it's capitalized at all. It doesn't matter, I don't think. But and then yeah, link in the bio if you want to click through on that. So thank you guys for hanging in there. This was rough at places. I know I'm scatterbrained today because I got the kids and I got high. I apologize. Anytime I get high before I do a podcast, I always think I can handle it. I got high before the 420 show because, you know, it's the 420 show. And that was a really bad idea. Because my wife wasn't there at first, and I did get kind of nervous. I was nervous because I was like, you know, it's 420. Like, I don't want this to end our Whatnot page because we're selling pipes, even though everybody said that we could. They were like, just make sure you don't say that it's for weed. So the whole time, I even had people come in, they're like, are these smoking devices? I was like, I think you can use them as a smoking device. I was like, they look like smoking devices, but I can't tell you that that's what it's for unless you're trying to use it for tobacco. So, but like, yeah, I think we'll be all right. And we're not going to be doing it all the time. So it's not like we're going to be like fucking selling it all the time. So thank you to everybody for hanging in there, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.